and gentlemen, a very warm welcome on board my YouTube channel. My name is Julia George. I come from North Macedonia. I'm currently living in Germany and I'm an ex-cabin crew that flew for Qatar Airways for the past 10 years, where I have resigned from my last work position as a cabin service director. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you how I became a cabin crew, how I decided to become a cabin crew in the year 2009. So make sure you stay tuned until the last minute of this video, as you're going to hear an interesting and a funny story. Most of you know, I'm actually a criminologist by profession. I graduated in the year 2008, end of year 2008. I graduated Police Academy in Macedonia at that time, before we changed the name to North Macedonia. So my plans and my ideas for enrolling myself in the society was actually to be working according to my profession and to be part of a team that is going to be working in detecting crimes, in fighting against the crimes. And very important aspect that I was looking forward in developing myself is working in the field of finding solutions on how we can prevent crimes of happening and saving the society. I think that's where my entire global idea and necessity to contribute towards the society and to making the world a better place comes in today, and with forming my YouTube channel in first place over here. So airline and being a cabin crew was something that I never ever thought about previously. So we all have those days when we come from work, we feel like the world is falling apart. We feel like there is no way out, and we want an instant change, and we think that instant change should happen right away. And that happens especially when we are young. So I was 24 years old. My beginnings after I graduated were in the private security sector. So I was a manager, and I was having given a lot of responsibilities and a lot of workload on my shoulders, as I would like to say. And I think that my lack of experience were something that made me like I'm trapped. I'm like I'm close to someone, and I really I'm young. I had to face myself with a lack of time to go out, to have fun. I was thinking that once I graduate, I'm gonna start working and everything is gonna be super amazing, and it was not like that, because I graduated, I started working, but the workload and the obligations that I had were so much that I literally didn't have a life. And on top of that, I started my master degrees, which was another workload on me that I was supposed to do, and I was doing it during weekends. So basically my only free day in the week was Sunday, and Sundays I was so tired that I really thought that this is not the life for me. I was not thinking that I'm gonna be living like this. To end the story, to make the long story short, the pay was not as per what I was expecting and what I was thinking that as a manager I would be getting at that time. And that pretty much influences the decision that I brought. I came from work one day. I was upset because, as I said, there were like a lot of things that I supposed to be doing, and I was having a short period of time, and I was thinking that it's not going to be possible. And I just opened the internet. I remember there was a website at that time which was called, it was in Macedonian, but I'll translate it in English, and it was called findthejob.com. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna look for a job at findthejob.com. So the moment I opened it, there was a vacancy like Qatar Airways is hiring one cabin crew in Macedonia. It was literally written like that they're hiring one cabin crew in Macedonia. So I was like, what is a cabin crew? Okay, those are the ladies that they're in the aircrafts and they're serving the passengers. Okay, sounds like interesting. I have been a passenger on a commercial airline flight when I was flying to Canada and when I was going to Amsterdam and stuff like that. So I was like, that sounds like interesting, but what do these ladies, these aunties, they're doing in the airplane? I swear I had literally no idea about airline, and I had no idea about customer service industry, as I'm coming from a different background, as I said. So I googled it. I remember in university we had a professor who was so much insisting on us to start using Google, and things that we don't know, we're supposed to be Googling those things, and we're supposed to make our own filter of right and wrong informations, because obviously Google will give us loads of informations, and we're supposed to like have our own filter in which one we're gonna recognize the correct source and the correct info that makes sense or that doesn't make sense, just like you're doing right now watching my videos, and you're perhaps subscribed on my YouTube channel. So in that case, I was scrolling down and I was checking the website. First thing I saw, I checked the website of that company called Qatar Airways, because Qatar Airways is flying from the state called Qatar. So I was like, where is Qatar? Like, okay, they have an airline, Qatar Airways. The moment I opened the website, there was this beautiful cabin crew with the burgundy uniform, and that was instantly my motivation was born within the uniform. And I think that was the right thing. My motivation to become a cabin crew was never to travel and to see the world, because inside me I always knew that wherever I will be going, whether I'm going to be living in Canada, as half of my family lives there, or I will be staying in Macedonia, I was looking for a sustainability to basically be in the society as someone who is able to travel and who can afford to travel. So therefore my motivation was never traveling, was never destinations, but my motivation was the uniform at the beginning. And I think that motivation stayed until the last day, as I was someone who was excited for each and every flight I was doing. I absolutely loved the uniform, and it was giving me a feeling that I really cannot describe it. It's really an adrenaline that once I put on the uniform, like, I literally forget about all the worries, all the problems. At that time, I'm your stewardess, I'm the cabin crew that the passengers should be counting on. I'm carrying with me something called professionalism. I was even exploring of how the way the uniform was made and designed, and who designed the uniform. And I remember that within me there was a feeling of responsibility delivered towards the person who has designed that beautiful uniform. I was saying to myself very often that this person has made such an amazing uniform. It fits me so well. I have a responsibility to carry this uniform in the right way and to express myself in the right way. So therefore, to going back on the website, I saw the uniform and I saw myself that I would be looking perhaps good, because it's a color that suits me and that's color that I absolutely like, red burgundy color. So I started preparing myself for that open day that was happening in Macedonia, in a hotel called Holiday Inn Hotel. And I was preparing a CV in the Macedonian language, because on the vacancy wasn't written literally anything. As I said, on the vacancy it was written only that Qatar Airways is recruiting a cabin crew in Macedonia, and it was written they are recruiting only one cabin crew. So I was assuming that's a company who's going to be hiring the cabin crew, who's going to find that cabin crew and will send that cabin crew to Qatar. I wasn't even having an idea that Qatar Airways is actually sending their recruiters to Macedonia to be looking for that one cabin crew that was written on the vacancy. I think that was a mistake that happened. So and I was having my CV, preparing my CV in the Macedonian language. I don't know for what reason that night when I was working on my CV, I never had the CV template. I prepared my CV myself on a document, and I was putting the designs and the things that I wanted, and my CV was having the pink design, I remember, because it's my favorite color. So I was preparing it in Macedonian. I said, let me have an English version, just in case I go there and somebody asks me, I have, let's say, an English version. So here comes the day. I'm going and I'm attending that open day in Macedonia. I remember it started 8 or 9 in the morning, and I'm going there with my CV printed out in Macedonian. The number thing that I did wrong when I opened that door was I was late. I was late by 5 or 10 minutes, and they have already started the presentation about Doha, about Qatar, about the lifestyle over there. And I heard that they're speaking in English. So the moment I opened the door, literally the entire room was full of people, full of candidates. They turned and they all looked at me. I was dressed as I'm going for work. I was having my formal attire that I was wearing, my skirt. I was always wearing a skirt under the knees. And I was wearing a blazer, which was in a gray, dark gray color, both of them, and a white shirt and high heels. Of course, my hair was done as the way I'm going to work. So I saw that they're speaking in English, and I was like, okay, then I have to run home and I have to quickly take my CV in English. That was so funny. And then print out my CV, and hopefully by the time they finish this presentation, I will be going there and I will leave my CV. I really do not know where did I get the inspiration and where did I get the power to do that, because from this point of view I was thinking like, how come I didn't give up? But actually I'm a person that doesn't give up that easy, so I think that's the way I am, and that's the thing that pushed me to do that. So I quickly run home. I lived like 10 minutes from away from the center where the hotel was. I saved on USB the CV that I had in English. It was actually the same CV, just translated in English. I came back to the hotel and there was this battle now of finding a computer that had Word 2007, because all the computers over there in the hotel at that time were having only Word 1999. They didn't have Word 2007 at all. Some of them were having Word 2003, if I'm not mistaken. But I remember we even went to the main manager's office, and even he did not have the Word 2007. I called my flatmate, as I'm not from the capital, I live in the south, and my flatmate was working in a store for mobile phones, for computers, for stuff like that. And I asked her, she was very close by where the hotel was, and I asked her, can I please come and print out my CV as it's in Word 2007? She said, come quickly, I'll do that for you. I ran to her store, I printed out, I came back, and it was again like in the movie. I opened the door, people were leaving their CVs, and I was between the last one who was approaching the recruitment team to leave my CV with them. As I approached the recruiter, it was a funny story, because she recognized me. I was the one who came very late when I opened the door, and the presentation already started, and everyone turned and looked at me, and I just excused myself and I closed the door. And as I approached her, in her eyes I could feel like, what are you doing here? You know, you're already late and you are coming to leave the CV. And I really don't know what power I had from confidence at that time. But I'm always like that. I remember I was holding my CV with my two hands. I approached her, I left it on the desk, and I told her, I'm terribly sorry for being late, but I was not informed that I should have my CV in English, so I had to really run quickly and print my CV in English. If you like me, please call me. And I remember that she looked at me and she kind of froze, like I had a whole speech, it sounded like I'm ready, but actually I wasn't. It's just like it was an instant desire of what I wanted to perform and say to her, and I think that she liked it, because I didn't give her an excuse, but I gave her a reason that I was not informed. And later on there is another story after that regarding the information and regarding the recruitments in Macedonia, how they were happening. And I left. I went to visit my friend. I remember I had lunch with her and her family there, and she asked me, how was your open day? You told me that you and me and my friend, we were working together actually, and she asked me, how was your open day? And it was like 1:30 in the afternoon. And I told her, like, for sure they will not call me, because there was like loads of candidates there, and I was late. I didn't have my CV printed out in English. I explained to her the whole story. And the moment I was explaining to her the whole story, it was about 1:45. I remember my phone rang. So as my phone rang, I answered, because obviously I gave my contact number in case they would call me. They'd like my CV, they would call me, and they called me. And it was a conversation in English. Hello, Juliana. We are from the recruitment team of Qatar Airways. Your CV has been shortlisted and we're inviting you to participate in the assessment day next day. And we were all getting a number. And I remember my number was 11. As I was telling this to my friend, she said, I knew it that they will call you. I don't know why you are having doubts in you. They will call you. You're perfect for that job. Which I wasn't even aware what are the requirements. Ladies and gentlemen, guys, that you're watching this video, I never for a moment sit down and Google and write down what are the things that I need to possess to become a cabin crew. The only thing I was worried about is to make a CV in English, as I was not having a CV in English, and I just made the CV as per the structure of what I'm suggesting to you in my video on my YouTube channel, which is right this one. This was the type of CV that I had, because when I sat down and I was thinking, okay, what are the people looking within from a candidate point of view, what do they want to know about me? it came up to my mind and to my idea that they would want to know of what I'm doing and what I know how to do. Remember, I'm coming from a background called criminology, and I'm someone who's trained and teach how to analyze data and how to observe behavior. So I am always in a way trying to think analytically and try to think, what is the other person expecting from me? In this case, it was not the cabin crew job at all, but it was from an employer point of view. So they called me, and here I am attending the next day, going for that assessment day. They told me that I should be having my hair tied when I go for the assessment day, because on the open day I was going with my hair down, and on the assessment day they suggested to me to wear makeup and to have my hair tied behind. And also we had another guidelines, which was of course the business attire, but I was concerned, I wanted to wear a different formal clothes, which happened to be I was wearing the different formal clothing on the assessment day. The night before I go for the assessment day, me and my friends, we went clubbing, and we literally stayed out until 4 a.m. in the morning. In Eastern Europe, we love to go clubbing, we love to go out. We went out, as I said, and I came back at 4 in the morning. I didn't sleep, I think, until 6, because I was like roaming around, getting ready and stuff like that, because the assessment day was happening at 8 o'clock. I had to leave my house at 8 o'clock because we were starting at 9 o'clock. And of course, it started with the reach test. I remember we were in a group of in the room, conference room, a group of around 50 people, and there were rounds that we were conducting, and after every round there was the elimination happening. So the first thing we did was the reach test, which was 212. I was able to reach 212 centimeter. The second one was the English test, in which in my video about the English test, I'm explaining to you how the English test looks like. And then after the English test was the group discussion. And after the group discussion, we were finally left 5 people out of those 50 that were attending next day our personal interview. I cannot explain to you the feeling I was having after every round of elimination. The numbers were always starting like 1, 5, 11. Now 5, 11, then it was like 11. So then my number was constantly there until I reached the final interview. When we were left like 5 people and we were briefed at what time we were gonna go for the final interview, I again couldn't believe it. Like it was like I wouldn't say unreal dream, but I was like, out of so many people like me, I was kind of I wouldn't say surprised, but I was like, I do not possess anything to be a cabin crew, I think, but I don't even know why. I have been through a selection process when I was applying for the police academy in the year 2004. We were 1,800 candidates, and we were chosen only 100 of us to be actually in the group who's going to start learning and studying in the police academy. But there was like those tests were different. We were having physical activities, we were having a Macedonian test in Macedonian, we were having an intelligence test and stuff like that. So I was thinking that I haven't passed this type of selection. Why do people choose me? Anyway, that was not that was it. That was finished, and I was next day attending the final interview. So I remember as I walked in the final interview, again wearing a different outfit, and I was wearing a bag that the recruitment team liked the bag. They started, they were very casual with me. The first thing they questioned me was, they were holding my CV, obviously. When you are on a final interview, that was the first professional final interview I was attending. So they were holding my CV and they started asking me questions from my CV. They asked me a question like, have I had any conflict with employer, with any of my colleagues? I shared an experience in which I had a conflict with a colleague from work who was older than me, and they asked me how I solved it. I explained to them that I went to my colleague, I spoke to him, we cleared things out, what are the things he didn't like about me. I tried to change that, and I explained that we came to a position when we become best friends with that person. We were drinking coffee together every day. He was helping me so much at work and stuff like that. I think they really liked my managing, how I managed a miscommunication and misagreement with my colleague. That I think they liked me, that I was open to change, that I was the one actually approaching to solve the issue. In this case, I remember they asked me what are the things they should visit in Macedonia. Like, I gave them an idea where to go and what to do. I was not hesitating in my answers. They were very casual, yet to every question they asked me, I was able to give them an answer which was not, I didn't pose. I never said I don't know to any of the question, but I was giving a solution to the question. And another thing that they asked me, they said to me that they asked me, do I have a tattoo? I told them that I have a tattoo, and in fact they asked me to show the tattoo. I showed them the tattoo, and I remember that one of the recruitment lady, because it was two of them, she said, it's not going to be a problem because your tattoo is very small. I said, would you like me to remove it? She said, no, you can cover it with your undergarment, the tattoo, as it's on my back and it's small, again, I'm saying. But they said that the management will be amazed by your CV and the answers that you gave to us, because you also are someone who speaks 7 languages, and that's like something they said it's really wow, and that it's gonna wow the management when they see my CV, when they see my answers, because with the one lady I was talking and the other lady was constantly writing something. That was it. We shake hands. My interview lasted around 25 minutes, and I felt very comfortable. At the moment when they told me that the management will like my CV, I was still not like thinking that I'm gonna be getting the job. They told me that I will receive an email to upload pictures and to do the medicals that I supposed to do prior to go there. But I was not like sure that they will call me. I was like, they will call me, they might not call me. But one thing I was always keeping in mind is that if they don't call me, I will not feel disappointed. Now, at every stage of my recruitment process, from the beginning until the end, I had in my mind that if they don't call me, I will not feel disappointed. Rather than that, I will just move forward. If that's the job that I want to do, then I'll look for a way to express myself properly the next time I'm going. If not, I'm gonna search for something else. Like I'm a person by nature that it takes a lot for me to be disappointed. Like, I can take a lot of disappointments over my shoulder until I really say and I really come to a point to say, like, literally, this is enough. So I think that was crucial in my behavior, as I didn't show insecurities. Remember, guys, I'm gonna go back to something called expressing and sharing experience, but also making you to learn something. The moment we show that we're scared that we're not gonna get the job, we can show something called insecurity, and in this case we can make the recruitment team doubt. So to learn from my experience, one important thing is when you go there, show comfortable attitude within yourself, and please show that you don't have an insecurity if you do not get the job. Not in a sense that you have a backup, you're gonna go for Emirates or you're gonna go for Etihad, no, but show them that if you fail, you're gonna take that as a learning experience. Show a comfortable attitude. That is very, very important, I think, in getting the job. So we shake hands, and the interview after 25 minutes was over. I was getting the necessary information on when they will call me, and that was it. It was about 3 weeks after my final interview that I got a mail that I supposed to upload my pictures. And after I did that, after I uploaded the photo, they never asked me to retake the photos again, as I was following the guidelines that they give me very strictly. And I did, after a few days of uploading the photos, I got an email to do the medicals, which I did all the medicals that were necessarily, in which I have spoken about in this video over here. And very shortly after that, it was approximately, I think, 1 week or 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. It was maximum 2 weeks. They have emailed me that everything is okay with the medicals, and that I will shortly get the info on what's gonna be happening. Now, in the year 2009, we were not getting contract, pre-contract. We were not getting, the procedure was really different than that it is right now. now it's pretty much everything is spoon feed. People are getting their date of joinings and they're telling them actually what they're supposed to wear. In my time when I was traveling, it was just written to wear a formal clothes, to be normally dressed, not jeans. I think I really cannot remember what were the guidelines, but they were very basic. If I'm not mistaken. And when I got the confirmation after my medicals that I am successful in the medicals and that I will be joining Qatar Airways, they told me that they cannot specify when I will join, but I will be informed. That was it in the email. So I remember shortly after that, I was sleeping. 8 in the morning, my home, my landline in the flat where I was living, I was having my mom with me. She came to visit me. As I said, I'm not from the capital. I'm actually from the south. So my mom came to visit me. I still haven't even resigned from my previous work. The phone rang and there was like somebody calling from Qatar Airways. And my mom was like, I was sleeping in my bedroom. My mom was sleeping in the living room. And I was like, okay, somebody called. My mom said, somebody's calling from Qatar Airways. And I run and they were like, can you travel tomorrow? And I was like, no, I cannot, because I'm still living in the capital and I'm from the south. And actually, I haven't resigned yet. So I said, you have to give me a day. I was really eager to join and to go as soon as I can. So I remember that day was, I wouldn't say the worst day of my life, but it was a day in which I had to organize the entire moving. I had loads of stuff that I had to shift home, and I had to find a friend to help me to do that. At work, I sorted things out very quickly. I spoke to my manager, I explained everything. I said, listen, I'm leaving. This is how it is. I have to take my things. It was a surprise thing. It was like also a stress, but I managed in that day. Now, day after tomorrow was actually my traveling date in which they sent me tickets. I remember I was traveling from Skopje to Istanbul and transit in Istanbul for a few hours, and then from Istanbul to Doha. That was it. That was how I joined Qatar Airways. Totally, I wouldn't say totally unprepared, but with a mindset that's definitely different for many other candidates nowadays. But there is another important story which I would like to share with you. Continue the story after this story, which is an answer to the question why I have opened this YouTube channel and why I'm over here with you. I think deserves a separate YouTube video, as it has other aspects that are important for me to share with you. And to know that, don't forget to click subscribe on my YouTube channel if you're not already a subscriber. And I'm gonna be seeing you very soon with the part 2 of this video. Until then, stay blessed, bye bye, and have a nice day.